This is Part 2 Episode 106. Senior, your soul power was limited by the soul eradicating powder, right? Eat this first, Hui Yuhao said as he passed the antidote he had prepared to Nan Shueishui. Nan Xiuqiu hurriedly took it for her mother and placed it in her mouth. Only then was Nan Shueishui able to react. Without even asking Hui Yuhao how he did it, she said in a low voice, "Let's go." Leaving this place was the best thing that could happen to them. However, she did not expect it to be easy. Nan Xiuqiu hunched forward slightly to carry her mother. With one leap, she jumped out of the basement. The antidote needed time to take effect. The soul eradicating powder was powerful, and it was impossible for Nan Shueishui to regain her powers in such a short period of time. Hui Yuhao followed them out of the cellar. The secret behind why he was able to break the silver chains was naturally his life guardian blade. Life gold was able to devour the life energy of every solid object. It had even been able to gradually destroy the large door of the underground storage room in Radiant City. While the chain was strong, there was nothing it could do when faced with its greatest opponent. After they rescued Nan Shueishui, Hui Yuhao felt an immense sense of relief. Now was not the best time to leave the city, as it was surely completely controlled by soldiers from the Sun Moon Empire. There was also a Beast Lord-ranked Soul Engineer Legion around, too. Aerial surveillance Soul tools, no doubt, covered the skies above Sunrise City once again. After so many battles, both Hui Yuhao's soul power and spiritual power were greatly depleted. The best course of action now was to hide. Then, when the chance presented itself, they could sneak out of the city. With Nan Shueishui, a soul Doluo around, they had a good chance of breaking out. "Where do we go now?" Nan Xiuqiu asked Hui Yuhao in a low voice. Since he was using his imitation, they had no fear of being detected by aerial surveillance soul tools. Hui Yuhao said, "We'll go back to the hotel first. Fengling is still there. While it's close to the southern part of the city, we have yet to be exposed. We'll go back to rest first. After Auntie has regained her strength, we'll find another way to leave." "All right, I'll listen to you." Hui Yuhao had fulfilled his promise and helped her save her mother. Any unhappiness Nan Xiuqiu had had with Hui Yuhao before this was completely wiped clean. All that remained was respect and shame. She suddenly realized that he was able to provide her with a strong sense of security. She gradually understood how Yi Gai's curiosity eventually left her infatuated with Hui Yuhao. He's really exceptional, and he's mature beyond his age. Nan Shueishui, lying on her daughter's back, said nothing. The antidote started to kick in, and she started to gather her soul power once more. Right now, Sunrise City was danger-ridden. Nothing was more important than regaining her soul power. Indeed, there were soldiers everywhere in the city. Every single street was being monitored very closely. The soldiers used sound-amplifying soul tools to issue orders, instructing all civilians not to leave their homes. They then used various types of surveillance soul tools to search each and every building. In the sky, one could see blue dots of light flashing by frequently. This indicated the presence of the Evil Eye Tyrant Soul Engineer Legion. Hui Yuhao stood in front. He unleashed his imitation, and was able to walk right by the waves of soldiers, as he quickly walked in the direction of the hotel. As he walked, he whispered to Nan Xiuqiu, "Don't rush to return later. We should observe our surroundings. If the hotel is being searched, they will have found Fengling. I don't know what they will make of him. I just hope that they have not yet searched that place." Nan Xiuqiu nodded and said, "That guy is so dumb. What if he is discovered?" Hui Yuhao frowned and said, "Let's see the situation first. If we can save him, we should save him. He's a poor sod." Nan Xiuqiu's mouth twitched as she said, "I heard third senior brother say that he's a gangster. He probably did many bad things before. This is his comeuppance." Hui Yuhao turned to look at her and said, "Stop being so harsh. He's already in such a sorry state." Nan Xiuqiu stuck out her tongue and said, "Fine, fine, I'll listen to you." Hui Yuhao smiled slightly and quickened his pace. After they saved Nan Shueishui, Nan Xiuqiu acted much more mature. After they navigated their way through many alleys and back streets, avoiding many patrolling soldiers in the process, they finally saw their hotel. There were no soldiers patrolling the front of the hotel. The alleys all seemed very quiet. Hu Yuhao suddenly felt his forehead turning hot. His eye of destiny seemed to have shivered. His mind shook, and he deployed his spiritual detection like a fisherman casting his net, enveloping everything within a 500-meter radius. To Hu Yuhao, his spiritual detection was more useful than his eyes. It had helped him turn the tides of countless battles. When his eye of destiny trembled, it seemed to be warning him. However, after he used his spiritual detection, he discovered nothing. Everything seemed normal. When Nan Qiuqiu saw him stop, she nudged him and asked, "What's wrong? Is everything all right?" Hu Yuhao shook his head and said, "Let's go. We'll return to the hotel to see if Feng Ling is still there." As he said that, he and Nan Qiuqiu flipped over a wall to enter the hotel. For safety, he continued to use his imitation to conceal himself as he slipped into the hotel. Quickly, he walked to the room where Feng Ling had been. With his spiritual detection, Hu Yuhao could sense that Feng Ling was still in his room, alive. He slowly pushed the door open, and just as expected, Feng Ling lay on the bed like before. He was curled up, and seemed to be mumbling something. Nan Qiuqiu sighed in relief as she said, "It appears that they have yet to search this place. Our luck isn't bad. Yuhao, why don't we hide him? Let's bring him out of the hotel first. What if the soldiers find him here?" Hu Yuhao appeared to not have heard Nan Qiuqiu's words. He stood there and he looked straight ahead. He touched his forehead with his right hand. Between his brows, his eye of destiny was shaking rapidly. This was the first time he had encountered something like this. The pressure he felt made him deeply uncomfortable. "No, let's go," Hu Yuhao said as he suddenly pulled Nan Qiuqiu. He did not even let her put Nan Qiuqiu down, as he ran out of the room with her. The moment he ran out the door, a huge rumble could be heard. This terrifying shockwave was accompanied by a terrifying rain of carnage. Despite Hu Yuhao's quick reflexes, the huge energy still hit him from behind. His heart ran cold. He knew that he was being ambushed. Nan Qiuqiu asked confusedly, "What's going on?" The more dangerous the situation, the calmer Hu Yuhao was. He grabbed Nan Qiuqiu with his right hand as he said in a low voice, "Flying type soul tool." At the same time, he maximized his spiritual power. He unleashed his spiritual interference and imitation. Nan Qiuqiu was still carrying Nan Qiuqiu. While she wanted to deploy her flying type soul tool, her hands could only fumble at it clumsily. At this moment, Hu Yuhao had already released his flying type soul tool. At this moment, he did not care about whether his actions were appropriate anymore. He grabbed her by the waist as his flying type soul tool propelled him upward. He punched the ceiling with his hands. Boom. Boom. 2 explosions rang out. 2 holes appeared in the ceiling. Instantly, one could see that a huge swathe of light had covered the sky outside. The very air trembled. No matter how dumb Nan Qiuqiu was, she now understood the severity of the situation. She did not struggle, but instead used her soul power to try and make her mother and herself lighter. Hu Yuhao's embrace was warm and brimmed with masculinity. The light outside flashed. A layer of golden light started to shine from Hu Yuhao's body as he used his invincible barrier. With his spiritual interference domain, imitation, and invincible barrier, Hu Yuhao was completely protected and concealed. His butterfly wings spewed out light as he flew out of one of the 2 holes as fast as he could. Hu Yuhao was clear that this was his only chance. They were definitely surrounded. As to why, he had an inkling. It definitely had something to do with Feng Ling, who had been blown apart. "Go back," a raspy old voice said in mid-air. With that, Hu Yuhao felt like a moth who had flown into a huge net as something forcibly blocked his ascent. He could not go back. No way. Hu Yuhao was clear that if his next attack was blocked, there would be no chance of escape. He lashed out with his right fist, and his eyes brimmed with sadness and longing. It was the fist of remembrance, a fist which contained a surging feeling of remembrance. Boom. A layer of white light appeared after being struck by this punch. A shadow materialized outside the screen of light. When he saw this person, the look of longing in Hui Yuhao's eyes faded. Nan Shuai, who was on Nan Qiuqiu's back, recoiled forcefully. This was because the person, who was now looking down on them from outside the barrier, was none other than the third elder from the Holy Ghost Church. He was also Nan Shuai's former lover, who had imprisoned her. Not only that, but blue figures also appeared outside the light barrier, surrounding Hui Yuhao and the three of them. Then the fourth elder appeared, and a group of people clad in black appeared behind the third elder. Trapped. After his body rebounded from the light barrier, Hui Yuhao did not use his 3 ultimate Haodong skills anymore. Those were last resort moves. Once he used them all, he could no longer control his emotions. If that happened, how could he leave with Nan Qiuqiu and Nan Shuai? He stopped using his imitation, revealing the 3 of them. The soul engineers from the Evil Eye Tyrant Soul Engineer Legion all wielded a soul tool each. They aimed their soul tools at Hui Yuhao and his companions. With just one order, they would open fire at them. On the ground, a bunch of carefully positioned soul tools started to become visible. Powerful soul power fluctuations were everywhere. This was a truly well-planned trap. The third elder looked at Nan Shuai before he turned his gaze to Hui Yuhao. He clapped his hands lightly and said, "You're skillful indeed, and full of tricks and schemes. With just a few of you, you actually dared to mount a rescue mission, which succeeded. I can't help but admire you. At your age, I was still a clueless youth. If I had half of your powers, no one would have been able to steal my lover from me." When he said that last bit, he could not help but look at Nan Shuai. Nan Shuai wore a heavy expression on her face. She sighed and said, "They are still kids. Let them go. I'll return with you. I'll do whatever you want me to. You'll do whatever I ask you to. What can you do for me?" Ha 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 ha, the third elder laughed shrilly. "Had this been 25 years ago, how happy I would have been to hear you say that. However, it's too late now. This should be your daughter, right? Look, she resembles you so much. Do you think you have a chance of leaving me anymore? I can't do anything to you, but I won't let you leave me. Don't worry, I won't kill you or your daughter. If I kill her, you'll be sad. I'll let her accompany you. As for this bastard here, I can't decide his fate. Wu Yu, do you have anything you want to say? They are the butchers, and I'm the meat," thought Hui Yuhao. He could not help but despair. Despite his many calculations, he had still slipped up. He knew that he had been exposed because of Feng Ling, who had died from the explosion. He did not hate Feng Ling, because he was controlled by the evil soul masters. No matter how resolute he was, however, Hui Yuhao could not help but lose hope in this situation. He was facing 2 evil-titled Doluor, with one of them being a Class 9 Soul Engineer. Furthermore, there was a Beast Lord rank Soul Engineer Legion with hundreds of men nearby, as well as the soul tools which had long been placed in position underneath him. There was no escape. Wu Yu, who was clad in a huge cloak, floated up next to the third elder and asked Hui Yuhao sharply, "You killed my sister?" "Your sister?" Hui Yuhao looked at her suspiciously. Wu Yu freed her head from the cloak. When Hui Yuhao saw the pale, familiar face with its blood-red eyes, he felt his heart tremble. His questions were finally answered. They had the same vengeance-filled faces and blood-red eyes. Here was another one who possessed the spirit of vengeance. "You are twin sisters, right?" Hui Yuhao asked bitterly. "That's right. Did you kill my sister?" "Why? Why? You're so weak, how could you have killed my sister?" Wu Yu shrieked hysterically. Hui Yuhao sighed and said, "Your sister died peacefully." "That's right, I killed her. However, to her, death was the best release. Both of you possess a spirit of vengeance, which is immensely strong. However, your lives are both cursed. Is this feeling good? Your sister died, because she sensed my love for my lover. My emotions destroyed her spirit of vengeance, and hence, she died. Actually, to her, death was a form of purification and elevation. As he spoke, Wu Yuhao's eyes shone brightly, and an image appeared in front of Wu Yu. There were too many things he could do with his imitation. The Haodong palm, the palm that would last eternally, was clearly revealed in that image. At this moment, the weather changed, and even the third elder was moved. Wu Yun wore a final smile on her face, after being struck by Hu Yuhao's Haodong palm. Her bloodshot eyes turned clear again, and she died a glad woman. Wu Yu was stunned when she saw this scene. Thank you. Remembrance is a magical thing. I miss my mommy and daddy. Why did you have to die so early? Why didn't you protect me? Why did you let that fatso abuse me and leave me humiliated in front of countless people, in that cold basement? They destroyed my body under the instigation of that fatso, ravaging my heart, and staining my spirit. I was only 15. Hatred kept me alive, and enhanced my spirit to another level. My spirit of vengeance was awakened as a result. I hate those greedy and lecherous men, and I hate that fatso who tore me to pieces. I want to slaughter them, but I'm in so much pain. Am I finally being released? You let me see the light, sense what remembrance is, and witness a love that's yet to appear in my spirit. It seems like not everything in this world is dirty. There are still pure and clean things. Thank you for letting me sense the intense love you have for that unknown person. You cleansed my heart, and let me know what release is. Thank you, I'm very happy. While there were many people around, Wu Yun's voice still sounded very clear on this abnormally quiet night. To the soul engineers of the Evil Eye Tyrant Soul Engineer Legion, this mournful voice only moved them. However, the third and fourth elders, as well as Wu Yu, were all astonished by Wu Yun's words. Wu Yu was even trembling uncontrollably, and she muttered to herself, elder sister, how could you bear to leave me alone? Trying to escape. The third elder shouted as he witnessed this scene. He smacked his right hand down, and a bluish-black lightning dragon instantly surfaced from his arm. Hu Yuhao, Nan Xiuqiu and Nan Shuishui all turned into bubbles and disappeared, while this lightning dragon charged downwards immediately. It unleashed a lightning net that engulfed a huge plot of space. The entire air seemed to be suffused with a smell that resembled ultraviolet rays coming from sunlight on a bright day. Amidst this lightning net, three sorry figures appeared slightly more than 100 meters away from where Hu Yuhao and the other two had disappeared earlier. Hu Yuhao released intense azure lights from his body, which resisted the strong lightning that was coming towards him. However, he still felt his body turning numb. This was the strength of a Class 9 Soul Engineer. He had managed to make the three of them reappear easily. As the only successful person to have completed the ultimate soldier plan, Hu Yuhao had no intention of giving up, even though he was in a precarious situation right now. He had almost succeeded in using his imitation to confuse his opponents, which included two titled Doluor, and escape. The sky was completely sealed, so their only chance of escape was through the ground. They only stood a chance if they entered the city and exploited the complex geography and messy situation to their advantage. At the same time, Hu Yuhao had to rely on his spiritual interference domain and imitation. However, the third elder had reacted too quickly and killed off their hope. Hu Yuhao couldn't tell what soul tool the third elder was using. However, the tremendous suppression he was under caused him to become completely immobilized as he unleashed his domain of perpetual ice. The difference in their abilities was simply too huge. Even though his soul power was already at rank 60, he was still technically a Soul King, because of the number of soul rings he had. The gap between a Soul King and titled Doluor, and a Class 6 and Class 9 Soul Engineer, was undoubtedly too big for him to make up the difference. He could sense that his opponent didn't intend to kill the three of them, he wanted to capture them alive. That was likely because of Nan Shuishui and Nan Xiuqiu, the third elder couldn't bear to kill them. Could Hu Yuhao only find an opportunity to escape after being captured? Hu Yuhao still had a few trump cards that he hadn't used yet. However, these trump cards seemed a little too useless against a Class 9 Soul Engineer. What should he do? While he was normally very adaptable, he couldn't think of a way to free himself. The image that he had formed using his imitation had disappeared, and Wu Yu was staring at him with completely red eyes. She said to the third elder coldly, "I want him alive. I want to make him my human puppet, and whip him every day. I want to torture him until it feels worse than death, so as to avenge my elder sister." Wu Yu's voice was very sharp. Hu Yuhao could hear her words clearly, and his heart sank when he heard them. He wasn't afraid of death. However, his life was going to be a living hell if he landed in the same state as Feng Ling. Originally, he didn't want to take any chances, and wanted to conserve his abilities before trying to escape later on. However, he became more determined to escape after hearing Wu Yu's words. No matter what, he couldn't land in their hands. He would rather die than be captured. He turned to the northeast and looked into the sky. A trace of blue appeared in the pitch-black sky far away, and he seemed to see Wang Donger's sleeping figure. "Donger, I'm sorry. I might not be able to wait until you wake up. Do you know how much I miss you now? Forget it, just let me die. Even if I die, I'll bring my yearning for you along." As he thought until here, Hu Yuhao's eyes brightened. His eyes turned clearer, and a sense of yearning spread from him. His willpower soared, and golden light emanated from his body, illuminating his pitch-black surroundings. The third and fourth elders, as well as Wu Yu, were all some of the strongest individuals around. They immediately reacted when they saw the changes Hu Yuhao was experiencing. The third elder waved his hand, "Everyone, retreat." The Soul Engineers from the Evil Eye Tyrant Soul Engineer Legion weren't up to such an high-level fight, unless they were willing to sacrifice their lives to destroy Hu Yuhao. He looks like he's only slightly past 20, but why is his willpower so strong? How did he manage to reach such a cultivation? Even Wu Yun died at his hands. Even with the third and fourth elders' cultivations, they were still very serious when they sensed the strength of Hu Yuhao's spiritual cultivation. It wasn't difficult for them to kill him, but it would be tedious for them to capture him alive. They were very curious about him, too. Whether it was his soul skills, like imitation and spiritual interference, his cultivation, or his abnormal spiritual power, he was the kind of research subject that the Holy Ghost Church liked. If they tried to destroy him, Nan Shueishui and Nan Qiuqiu were unlikely to escape the repercussions. While the third elder sounded very unfeeling, he would have simply attacked them if he no longer had feelings for Nan Shueishui. Why would he have waited until now? At this point, another streak of golden light that resonated with Hu Yuhao's strong willpower shone far away in the east. Furthermore, this streak of golden light seemed even brighter. It was like the sun rising in the east. There was a dominant aura about it as it rose into the sky. Even Hu Yuhao was stunned when he saw this. This was... The Holy Ghost Church didn't know, but he was clearly aware of the fact that he had no reinforcements. They were the only remaining ones on this rescue mission. Could it be Sister Xiaodao? However, it isn't possible for her to release a streak of golden light. That streak of golden light came very suddenly and forcefully, and soon filled the entire sky. Deafening dragon roars also reverberated across the sky, and the sky turned bright gold. Oh? Hu Yuhao and the other two were already under the control of the lightning net. In the third elder's opinion, Hu Yuhao couldn't possibly escape given his cultivation. That was why both him and the fourth elder turned their attention to the sudden change occurring far away. After all, they didn't know how many people had come with Hu Yuhao, and how many strong individuals there were. Although Wu Yu had obtained some information from Feng Ling was in an unstable mental state. It was difficult to tell how credible he was. It was just like how she didn't know what time the Tang sect was supposed to make their move. The Soul Engineers from the Evil Eye Tyrant Soul Engineer Legion were indeed well trained. Even though their commander wasn't around, they still came up with a targeted response immediately. Glaring beams of lights were fired from the area where all the soul tools were deployed, forming a blue net of death that reached towards the streak of golden light coming from afar. The 100 Soul Engineers in the air also adopted a new formation to target the incoming streak of golden light. 30 of them split into groups of 5, and each group was in charge of helming a huge soul tool. These soul tools seemed like pentagrams, and there were metal poles extending from its corners. Every pole was lifted on a soul engineer's shoulder, while the center contained a ball-like entity that resembled an eye. Dark blue light shone above this ball-like entity, and intense soul power undulations poured from it. The incoming streak of golden light clashed with this blue net. However, the shocking thing was that no explosion rang out. The streak of golden light was quickly dissipated by the net, and converted into spots of golden light that scattered in mid-air. What? Everyone from the Sun Moon Empire was stunned when they heard how loud the thunder was, but saw how little rain there was. At this moment, a tremendous boom sounded beneath their feet. A streak of golden light, that looked like a moving dragon, appeared within the area where all the soul tools were deployed. The streak of golden light was simply too quick. Wherever it passed, soul tools were instantly destroyed, and pathetic screams started to ring out. The third elder shouted, "What are the aerial surveillance soul tools doing? Lock onto them." As he spoke, he shot a look at the fourth elder. He had to hold the fort here and control Hu Yuhao and the other two. It was more suitable for the fourth elder to deal with that streak of golden light. The fourth elder nodded slightly. Soul rings started to rise from beneath his feet as he lifted his right hand. There were 9 soul rings, 2 yellow, 3 purple and 4 black. They showed off his immense title Doluo abilities. A thick black fog was also released from his body, engulfing him completely. No part of his body could be seen. This black fog started to descend. As it shifted, it revealed a sharp aura, even though it looked very gentle. In a flash, it reached the ground. A crisp sound of striking metal echoed out, and the fourth elder's black fog stopped moving, along with that streak of golden light. The figure that was flashing within the golden light materialized and appeared in front of everyone. When she appeared, she immediately caught everyone's attention. Even the evil soul masters were drawn to her, because she was simply too beautiful. Her powder blue wavy hair flowed behind her head, and there was a layer of frost covering her ravishing face. An illusory golden dragon subtly appeared around her body. She was also holding a long spear with 2 pointed sides, pointed diagonally towards the sky. Even though she was standing in place, she seemed like the greatest creation ever. At this moment, she was looking at Hu Yuhao trapped within the third elder's lightning net with her big, powder blue eyes. Hu Yuhao appeared to be in a daze. Following this dazed look turned into a touched and guilty look. Yes, this person with such ravishing looks, wavy hair, and beautiful eyes was the golden dragon girl, Wang Chioa. Hu Yuhao didn't understand why Wang Chioa was here at such a time. However, he had mixed feelings right now. "Chioa, you were really silly. It's not worth it for me." Hu Yuhao slowly shut his eyes, as he took in a deep breath, and gradually retracted his domain of perpetual ice. However, the layer of golden light on his body became stronger. His eye of destiny was completely open at this point, and there seemed to be countless streaks of golden light shining in this vertical eye. It appeared to be boundless. At the same time, a thin golden line also appeared on Wang Chioa's forehead. In the next instant, it split open, revealing another golden vertical eye. It was also shining with countless streaks of golden light, and it seemed identical to Hu Yuhao's eye of destiny. Everything around them seemed to solidify when these 2 eyes of destiny opened. Time and space were completely locked at this instant. Even the third and fourth elders were drawn to the golden lights from their eyes. In the next moment, Hu Yuhao and Wang Chioa lifted their heads together, and faced their eyes of destiny towards the sky. 2 beams of golden lights shot into the sky at the same time. These 2 beams of golden light illuminated everything, and the sky turned bright gold at this final moment before dawn arrived. These 2 beams of lights intersected, and instantly burst to a higher position. The pre-dawn darkness was torn apart, and a huge golden vertical eye appeared in the air. Streaks of golden lights scattered everywhere and engulfed everyone. Hu Yuhao and Wang Chioa were the first 2 to be affected by these streaks of golden light. An illusory projection of a golden vertical eye appeared behind their backs, turning them slightly illusory. As for the rest, including Nan Shueishui and Nan Qiuqiu, They felt that there was something in their bodies controlling them as these streaks of golden light engulfed their bodies. An indescribable sense of crisis and suppression quickly spread in their hearts. Destiny gaze. This was the true, complete version of destiny gaze. Apart from Hui Yuhao and Wang Qiu'er, a small vertical eye also appeared above everyone's heads. However, the vertical eyes above Nan Shueishui and Nan Qiuqiu were a dim gold. The vertical eyes above the rest were icy white. Take action. Quick, kill them, a sharp scream sounded out. The first to react weren't the two-titled Doluo, but the 8-ringed soul Doluo, Wu Yu. She had a spiritual type martial soul, and so she was the least astonished by everything that was happening. However, she was also the most sensitive to danger. The feeling of having her destiny controlled by someone else filled her spirit of vengeance with fear. Along with the deep impression that the scene in Hui Yuhao's imitation had given her, she only had one thought in her mind right now: escape. The only way for her to escape was to kill Hui Yuhao, Wang Qiu'er, and the rest. After she killed them, everything would return to normal. Her screams was filled with spiritual undulations. The soul engineers, who were in a daze, were immediately jolted awake. Suddenly, countless streaks of blue light wove in the air and started to reach towards Hui Yuhao and the rest. Most of the firepower was targeted towards Hui Yuhao and Wang Qiu'er. However, something strange happened at this moment. These soul rays and cannon shells that shot towards the four of them struck nothing. It seemed as if they had covered every angle, and that Hui Yuhao and Wang Qiu'er couldn't possibly escape, but nothing they fired hit them. The soul rays and cannon shells simply brushed past their bodies. It was as if some mysterious, special force was protecting them from harm. Even Nan Shueishui and Nan Qiuqiu were spared from harm, as many soul rays simply brushed past their bodies. Idiot, who told you to attack? Seal our surroundings and don't let them escape. The third elder shouted furiously and tightened his lightning net, which helped to block off the attacks coming from the Evil Eye Tyrant Soul Engineer Legion for Hui Yuhao and the rest. While Hui Yuhao was just a good research subject, he couldn't let Nan Shueishui and Nan Qiuqiu come to harm. Just as he shouted, Hui Yuhao and Wang Qiu'er moved at the same time, as though they were telepathically linked. Hui Yuhao sank down, and it seemed as if he was trying to collide against the lightning net below him. Wang Qiu'er twisted and charged upward towards Hui Yuhao. The fourth elder naturally wouldn't let her go to Hui Yuhao's aid. He snorted, and black fog spread from his body. A sinister beam of cold light instantly surfaced, and slashed towards Wang Qiu'er's head. The fourth elder's martial soul was a netherworld sword. His netherworld sword was extremely special. It could create another alternate plane of space that was illusory, mysterious and unpredictable when it was used. Every time this alternate plane of space was created, he needed to ignite someone's spirit as the price. As his cultivation increased and he became a titled Doluo, he could only seal the souls of 9 dead people. After using them, he had to replace them. Even with all this, he was still considered one of the evil soul masters that had committed the fewest sins. This attack of his was called Netherworld Slash, the fourth elder's first soul skill. It was sharp and quick. With the abilities of a titled Doluo, even a small hill could be slashed in half with this soul skill. The third elder revealed a disdainful look on his face when he saw how Hui Yuhao charged downward. He mimicked a clenching action, and his lightning net shrank once again. He was confident in his soul tool. No protective barrier was effective against his lightning net. An invincible barrier could only protect one's body, but it couldn't help one breach his lightning net. Hui Yuhao had unleashed an invincible barrier earlier. After some time, it had slowly faded away. Right now, the third elder thought he was courting death by clashing directly with his lightning net. His lightning net was called Lightning God's Binding, a Class 8 soul tool. Although it was mainly control type, it was still classified as a Class 8 soul tool in terms of its strength. Hui Yuhao dove downward while Wang Qiu'er charged upwards, and they were both facing the interception of a titled Doluo. However, they weren't looking at their opponents at this moment. Rather, they were looking at each other. Wang Qiu'er saw an apologetic and doubtful look in Hui Yuhao's eyes, but Hui Yuhao could only see Wang Qiu'er's determination. The two of them were getting closer and closer, but the two titled Doluo also intercepted them at this moment. They were less than 50 meters from each other, but these 50 meters were like a huge divide that was separating them right now. They didn't have any verbal interaction, and Hu Yuhao didn't even unleash his spiritual detection. However, another change occurred at this moment. Their left legs shone at the same time. A strange yet blurry light flashed. In the next instant, the third elder's retracted lightning net swept through nothing but air, and the fourth elder's netherworld slash hit nothing. Hu Yuhao and Wang Chua had both disappeared at this instant. Even though they disappeared for only an instant, they managed to avoid the interception of these two titled Doluo. When they appeared again, they were already next to each other. 6 eyes were looking at each other. Apart from the normal 2 pairs of eyes, there was also the pair of eyes of destiny. Why do you have to do this? Hu Yuhao asked gently. Wang Chua looked at him coldly, and something flashed across her eyes. Because I'm willing to. Part 2 end here.